What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tragically Hip. This one's very endearing Luca, who probably will be jumping up in a moment. And yes, we're returning to Phantom Power 1998. Thank you, as always, to Yvonne for sharing the Tragically Hip material, as well as those who've been following the journey. And the next tune in the playlist I haven't reacted to, which is to say there's been a few tracks on the album that I listened to as part of the Your Favorites compilation of greatest hits. But yes, the next one is The Rules. Is it just The Rules? Is it following the rules? No, it's just The Rules. So yes, those are the terms of engagement, the legal framework. Now, of course, rules are agreed upon principles and procedural guidelines, and in some cases they are not obeyed, and there's that classic expression, rules are made to be broken. So of course rules aren't the only part of the story when it comes to what will take place or what people consider as just or right, but they are again a framework theoretically agreed upon, or at the very least imposed, and thus one might be in a position to adhere to them, one might follow them, though consider them to be unjust, one might break them or at least advocate against them or propose an alternative set of rules. Any one of these things could be relevant in a more personal level, meaning not on a state level or in a particular organization or a corporate setting. So yes, I wonder what context the rules are in and whether the narrator or any other characters in this scene or tale will be inclined to follow them. So let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is The Rules by the Tragically Hip, and it's from their 1998 album, Phantom Power.
Screaming trucks, the motorists curse their lousy luck. Crossing guards not doing his job. Traffic's not about to stop for the first casualty of thought. It's the rules. It's the super farmers bent on the cover of Time. The moralists scream, he's all mine. So the bard isn't doing their job. The vacuum nights, the darkest rights, the small quarantine thoughts. It's the rules. It's the salesman said this vacuum's guaranteed. It could suck an ancient virus from the sea. It could put the dog out of a job. Could make traffic stop so little thought can safely get across. It's the road.
So, yeah, that's a really interesting one from them sonically. It sounds less like their wheelhouse than maybe any other tune I've heard. There was that one bonus track, actually, on the Your Favorites compilation that really had a different sound. But yeah, this one, it's kind of like dreamy soul rock, which it feels less, edgy folk rock or, like alternative rock meets folk rock, which is kind of where I see their main home territory sonically. So yeah, I enjoyed it in part because it was very unexpected, and as I said, it had this dreamy, smooth, almost lazy quality, but lazy in a good way. Lazy in like a contented, calm, and soulful feeling, not lazy as in, barely putting forth any effort. But yes, I enjoy, of course, Gord's vocals, a couple moments where he has these very melodic extensions, and his voice it really fit, it wasn't as impassioned as in some of the songs where I've heard him really belt a little bit more. This one, again, he was kind of in this smooth, mellow groove with his delivery. And I'm intrigued by the lyrics. Like, I caught tidbits and, referencing a traffic cop who's like, telling people what the rules are. You can go, you have to wait. Now you can go, you have to wait. And there's an orderly, agreed upon dynamic that constitutes the rules. And I was thinking, like, after the song started, there's a phrase like, well, look, you don't like it, but them's the rules. Like, we just have to follow these. So I think it's driving at that kind of concept. But I was intrigued because the first time it went into the chorus, the last line of the first verse was the first, casualty of thought? It's the rules. And I was like, oh, does that mean, like, if you really start thinking and, philosophizing, do the rules then suddenly become more suspect or more willing to be abandoned because, we have free will or independence, and thus, we don't have to follow them? But I think, the other lead-ins to the chorus in later verses were different. So I don't know if that's what it was saying. Or maybe it was like, was it the first consequence of thought? Because then that would actually make sense in the opposite direction. That like, well, once we start, we all got to work together. We got to figure something out so that the most amount of people can be accommodated and it's the least inconvenient and so on. Well, that's why you come up with rules, so that people, don't just do things that are harmful to others because it's more convenient to them. So I feel like there is a musing here about rules, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are aspects of it that are more narrow, more specific, maybe like, referencing either something in Canadian society or maybe just, modern human societies more broadly. But yes, I do feel like it is driving on some level at the issue of organization, rules, consent to systems of guidelines and or requirements as stipulated by whatever the rules are. So either way, a very lovely and smooth and soulful tune, and again, one that surprised me a bit sonically, a bit outside what I've come to expect from them. Once again, I wanted to mention, and again, thank you to Yvonne, who provided the video of the last concert for the Tragically Hip, before Gord passed away. R.I.P. as always to Gord. I want to get back to that. I did one song at the start, and my thought was, at first, like, maybe I'll go through one song, a couple songs, whatever. I still may decide to do at least a big chunk of the concert all in one. But yes, the point is, in the coming weeks, I'll try to get back to that, whether it's for a couple songs or maybe, a half an hour period of it and so on. I don't remember in the moment how long the concert is. I'm going to guess somewhere like 2 hours. Maybe I'm wrong. But yes, the point is, I will get back to that. So those of you who go over to my Patreon and look for video reactions, that should be coming in the not too distant future. Do let me know what you think of this tune. I think we have at least a couple more left. In the moment, I'm not remembering. Yeah, there's 3 tunes in here. I think I already reacted to Emperor Penguin. I'm pretty sure about that. Let me just make sure. No, according to this, I did not react to Emperor Penguin. Okay, for some reason I thought I did. So, yeah, I guess we have 3 more, and I don't think I've reacted to any of them. So yeah, we'll look forward to that, and I think there'll be more Hip coming once we complete the album. From Luca and I, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.